I'm Ray.
I'm Dirk. And you know, Ray, you know what I hate more than anything?
What's that?
I hate turkey products.
Turkey product?
I hate turkey sauce. Dude, turkey sausage shouldn't be considered sausage. It's just so dry, right?
Yeah,
It's bacon that's just lying about being bacon.
it is. Well, I mean, look, they claim it as being good for you, and anything good for you is going to generally be bland, kind of tasteless.
Yeah.
That's just the way that goes.
So how's your week been?
Man, it's been a hectic week, man. It's been a hectic week. We hired a new guy here, and I don't think it's working out for him. You know, I got a pretty good temperament about everything, but when you get to messing with my recipes or messing with my kitchen and my staff, I lose all my friendliness then. So
if you change the recipe, you change the product. It's consistency is key.
It is. Consistency is key, and you know that's also with in your time frame too. You know what I mean? Like if the kitchen closes at midnight, you can't stop taking orders. Like, look, that's all inside business stuff. The whole point is like I don't do well with people messing with my kitchen like that. You know, you can get away with a lot of things with me, but not here. Yeah. I protect this place with everything I got.
Well, I had a guy call me the other day, and he was mad that he didn't get housekeeping. Right? He's like, Sunday morning, he's like, I checked in on Friday, and on Saturday, I got absolutely no housekeeping. I'm like, I'm sorry, sir, but after COVID, for about 2 years, we were cleaning the room every 3 days. But Hilton just changed it, so we're cleaning the room every other day. So if you checked in on Friday, we wouldn't actually clean that room till Sunday unless you requested. And I explained all of Hilton's rules.
Okay. So now I wasn't quite following you. I was waiting for the clarification. Yeah. So you're saying that while they're in the room,
yes.
Can they call and request it early?
Yes.
Like, hey, can somebody come clean the room?
You can request it at the front desk. You can request it on the app. If you check in on the app, you can request housekeeping every day.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Is there an upcharge for it?
No. But this guy was mad, and he was screaming. He was cursing at me, and then he says, "You know what? I'm going to call my credit card company and report this as fraud, unless you take one of those nights off." And that's when I flipped. I'm like, you just committed a crime, right? That's it.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
It's kind of extortion.
Right? And then I hung up on him. And then he called back, and I just hung up on him again. Like, I'm not going to. And then I wrote a report to Hilton. I'm like, hey, this is what he said. I'm not going to.
Oh yeah. No, I don't make if a customer comes in here, and I am a firm believer customer's always right, but you cannot disrespect my staff.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna jump through hoops for you, so will they, but you can't come in here and disrespect them. You know what I mean? Like we try to make sure everybody walks away from here happy. Yeah. For me that's key. But no. And what I'm saying is if I was Hilton, I would have backed you up. Like this guy can't just call and cuss you out like that.
Yeah, well, he didn't even call him. He didn't even try.
Most of those things do fall short.
Yeah, I got all his money.
You got all of his money. Okay, good. Hey guys, and we're always looking for your questions, so jump on here and shoot us up some questions. And like always, we're really trying to push our YouTube page. So if we can get you guys to go over there and follow us on YouTube, that'd be fantastic. What you're gonna do is you're gonna type in Splitting Hairs Podcast, all is one word in your search bar, and you'll find our logo. And then follow and do all the good stuff. Follow it, hit the notification bars, all that.
I see we got 6 people watching.
Awesome.
I can't really see who they are on here.
Well, can you not? I thought we were able to put the questions up. It's fine. I'll open it up on my phone here.
I think when they ask questions, it'll come up over here.
Okay.
But normally,
somebody helped us test that out then. Somebody shoot us a question if you would, just so we can see if it's working. Trying to figure out how to get this thing opened up here. Oh, that's probably
right. Yeah. You got to hit that circle.
There it is. Well, no, I didn't have the back of the building. The blocks are so strong that they actually block signal coming out of the building. So I have to turn off my Wi-Fi. There we go.
A lot of buildings. See, there we go.
Yeah. Ricky Spivey. What's up,
What's up,
Ricky?
Rick?
How you doing, buddy? Man, it's been a while since I've seen you. You need to come on out here and come check me out, Ricky.
Right, you got some new beers.
We do got some new beers. I actually got a few new beers. We started getting these hard sodas in from a place up in Charlotte, and they came out with a new one. It's a Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
I
And,
saw that.
well,
Yeah.
you won't see it again this weekend because I'm gonna have to try to find a way to get up there to get some more because they got bought up quick. It was good. It was really good. I personally like the orange better.
Yeah.
Because it literally just tastes like an orange soda. You couldn't even tell there's alcohol in it. Now the Mountain Dew, you could taste a little bit of something in there, but the root beer, the orange, the
I
grape,
like the root
can't
beer.
even taste it.
Is that same root beer?
Same root beer, yes.
Yeah, that root beer is really good.
Oh yeah, throw a shot of vanilla vodka in it.
Yeah, that's really
Yeah,
good.
that works out really. That's like our oatmeal. Listen to me. Our root beer float.
Yeah,
That's what we call that. I actually bought ice cream for a little while. People were buying that up like crazy.
really.
Yeah,
that-
with
that
like a
was-
legitimate root
Yeah.
beer float, but with a little bit of alcohol involved.
Yeah, I'd have put like some Irish cream on top of it.
Ooh. I'm not big on ice cream. I don't like I guess it's like the spicier kind of stuff. Like I don't like the rum chata. Like those don't, they just don't float for me. Now we got a new one called Dough Ball, and that tastes like chocolate.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be chocolate chip cookie dough.
Yeah.
They're the same people to make Screwball, the peanut
Okay.
butter whiskey. Well, this is it's supposed to be cookie dough, but all you can taste is the chocolate. So if you mix that with the mint or like Kahlua is what I like because I love mochas, and that's like an alcoholic mocha.
I used to make this milkshake, and I'd do Bailey's and Frangelico and Kahlua in it.
Look at there, Harrison
Vanilla
posted
ice
it up.
cream.
Thank you, Harrison. That's mighty nice of you, sir.
What do you do?
He posted up the link to our
All right.
YouTube page. Harrison's a great guy. He's the one that was on a couple weeks ago, for the autism awareness that we did, which is we're rolling up at the end of Autism Awareness Month. So,
Where's he at tonight?
I don't know. Yeah, he usually is. He usually likes to come and hang out. So I don't know. He must be busy and indisposed.
But you got a good crowd in here. Yeah, there was that.
Oh
Dollar
yeah,
Wings
it's a beautiful
and all.
crowd. Yep, Sundays
Yeah.
are Dollar Wings day for us.
That's a good deal. Wings are expensive.
They are. But I don't know. I know Sundays I like. It's supposed to be a day of rest and relaxation. You know what I mean? So I'd rather you be able to put that money into something that helps you relax a little bit more. You know, and then there's the wings to make sure you can keep going. So, Harrison.
He's home.
Yeah, he said he's home today. That's all right, Harrison. We love you from a distance too.
It has been a long week.
Man, it's been a crazy week. It has been absolutely insane.
CP, did he turn down his plea?
Mm-mm.
And then they offered him a plea deal, and he turned it down.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna take it to trial.
I mean, no doubt he's got really good lawyers.
Oh yeah,
Like there's no doubt.
oh yeah. But
I mean, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. Our whole legal system, man, it's crazy. If you got enough money, you could just about get away with anything.
yes,
And
yes.
but on the flip side of that, like we don't have a lot of money, and if we were to get in some kind of trouble or just get accused of it, and we're really not guilty, we have to pay a lawyer to go in there because it's not written in a language that we can speak. And if you accidentally say the wrong thing or use the wrong protocol, you can be in deep trouble for it. And that just seems like a ridiculous way to do the law system, man.
Well, I know a guy I used to work for. I worked for him when I was a teenager. I worked for him in my early 20s at a convenience store. Well, I always knew he was crazy, right? I always knew he was crazy. He yelled and screamed all the time. Well, about a year and a half ago, he had an altercation where this guy was stealing a blue Gatorade. And they got into it. He grabbed his bag. Somehow he pulled out a knife. And he ended up stabbing him in the chest. The kid died in downtown.
Hold on. I'm not sure who the players are here. All right, so the crazy guy worked at the gas station.
Yeah, he owned the gas. Well,
he owned it.
It was a convenience store in downtown Raleigh.
Okay. And
Right.
and the person that got stabbed
Yeah.
was the person that was stealing, or
Yeah, he was stealing.
so
yeah.
so the crazy guy stabbed somebody else.
Yeah, he
Gotcha.
stabbed somebody else. Well, he had $1 million bond, which he posted,
Ooh.
right? And then he got this really, really good lawyer, and this lawyer's making the kid look like shit. He's like, well, he didn't have any form of money in his pockets. He came in there to steal, right? And then, he swung at my guy, and he was like, he had meth in his system and heroin in his system, and he had just got out of jail. The guy got 7 years for stabbing somebody in the chest, dying in the middle of downtown. And he only got the 7 years because the judge was pissed. Because when the guy got stabbed, he didn't call 911. He went and got a mop bucket and mopped up the blood.
Yeah, no. You definitely got to call 911.
7 years
Yeah,
for that.
7 years. No, look, I don't think that's unfair. Look, it was a blue Gatorade, right?
Right.
I mean, granted, people can't steal from you, but is it worth taking someone's life over I don't know, we'll say $5 now. Yeah. I'm not sure what it's going for up in Raleigh. Everything's more, but is it worth killing somebody over $5?
But if that happened to someone without money, without the ability to hire a really good lawyer,
oh yeah.
You're going to jail for the next 30 years.
Yep.
Like,
yes, you will.
And I imagine he'll get out on parole, like, right? He'll get the 7 years, but he'll serve 3, like, and be on the street.
I don't know. It's something like that. You do like half your time or something to that effect. Which, I mean, that's another thing that's just ludicrous. Look, man, I think that we lock too many people up for dumb little things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got people like, this guy took someone else's life. That guy is
major.
I mean, to me, that's a heinous crime. If you think about it, you had destroyed the rest of his future, and you've hurt however many people loved him. But to take somebody's life, man, that's permanent.
Yeah.
It's not like overseas they'll chop your hand off for stealing. Even over there in these hardcore countries, they're not killing people over it. But you do have the right to protect yourself. You do have the right to protect your property and your business, absolutely. But I don't know. I don't think I would. If somebody come in here like say this guy who didn't want to pay for his wings, I'm not going to stab him over it. You're just not allowed to come back and get any more wings after that. We'll call the law. We'll prosecute as best we can.
But it goes to show you our society's set up. If you got money, you know what I mean? I've seen people that got pulled with a little bag. You go to South Carolina and have a stem in your car. You better be ready to pay, right? Like you're
for a plant that doesn't hurt anybody. Yeah.
Well, I know
it looks like most of the country's starting to kind of come around.
Yeah. Well, here in North Carolina, we're pretty relaxed.
Well, we don't go after you as long as you only got a little bit. But they're actually talking about what was it, a couple weeks ago? There's one of the representative or something up by Charlotte that was pushing forward in the House a bill to legalize.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I know Virginia legalized, and we don't want people going to Virginia.
No, we need to buy
bringing it back.
We need to buy our weed here. Yeah, let us keep that money.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, and Cherokee, North Carolina, legalized there on the Indian reservation.
Yeah, and you can go there and you can buy it, but you kind of got to be careful once you leave that res. You definitely want you only go down there and buy like a quarter ounce, half ounce, or something. Like, don't try to leave out of there like it was such a great deal. So I bought 3 pounds. Like you're going
to jail.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's
it's insane.
ignorant. Yeah,
it's insane.
And then I was flipping through Facebook today, and they were talking about this young lady arrested and going to trial for I guess it was fentanyl related. I think she was selling it to people. Somebody died, so they're charging her with it. But then if you look underneath there in all the comments, everybody's going on and on about how come we're punishing her so bad and we let all these other people walk. Well, I'm going to say that it's more than likely they had the money to pay the lawyer to go in there and say the proper words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't know. I've never agreed with our legal system in the way it's handled. You know what I mean? Yes. If you're a pedophile, if you're hard criminal, like you're stealing all the time, taking everything or you're killing somebody, stuff like that. Yes. Those are the people that belong in prison.
Yeah.
If you're in prison because you got a bunch of parking fines and you never paid them, like that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even, there's some states, you get the 3 strike states, right?
Mm-hmm.
It could be over something stupid and they're going to put you in prison for something stupid. And I'm talking about that much weed. You get caught with that much weed 3 times, you're going to prison.
Right.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because we're paying for it when it comes down to it.
I think isn't the 3 strikes all been repealed, right? Like they don't do that anymore. I don't think.
Texas still does it.
Texas is always going to do its own thing.
Yeah, Texas is.
They'll still shoot you in there.
Yeah.
In prison.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Yeah.
But if you go to Texas and you mess up, you know what kind of risk you're taking.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it the other day when that guy was screaming and cussing at me. He had a northern accent. Yeah, he was probably some part of New York, right? And he had the northern accent. And I was thinking, man, the gun laws are different up there. Right? the gun laws are different. If you come to the South,
Are you saying that's why we're so polite down here?
that is why we're so polite, because everybody has a gun. And these old country boys really ain't gonna take shit off of you before they pull it out. It's not like that up there. You can talk anyway, throw your drinks at cars.
There's a guy. I found him on TikTok, but I'm sure he's on other platforms. And his whole thing was, if you don't put your shopping cart up, he'll come over there and harass you. He's putting bumper stickers on there.
Cart narcs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've actually gone on there and said, like, why don't you come to the South and try this? He did one time. He went to Texas and tried it and almost got killed.
Yeah.
There was some old man, I guess, had pulled out a pistol. He was smart enough to create some distance to get away from it. And then later on that day, I'm sure because the old man was agitated, he ended up shooting somebody.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So, I mean, think about that. Like, you're out there, you're out there fighting what you think is a good fight, but is that cart really worth you getting all kind of?
There was an episode of Jenny Jones back in the day.
Uh-huh.
And it was 3 people that came on, a girl and 2 guys. Well, this guy was in love with the girl, but his roommate was there also, and he, professed his love to the girl. The girl shot him down. Then his roommate was like, I'm in love with you. She's not the one that brought you here. I'm the one that brought you here. I'm in love with you. And he just had the deer in his headlights. Look, this was the early 90s. Things were different back then.
Yeah.
And so they all left together, and a couple days later, the guy went to his apartment, killed him. And I think that was pretty much the end of Jenny Jones. Like, I think, her show ended right after that.
So I don't necessarily blame the shows for that. I know a lot of people do. I don't blame the shows for that. I mean, if you're killing somebody, that's usually not going to be a spur of the moment. You know what? I'm just going to go there. I'm just going to go over there and shoot Derek today. Like, no, clearly me and Derek must have had some beef, or there had to be a big lead up to it. Like, I don't blame Jenny Jones. Like, did she help the matter? No, clearly not.
Yeah, she didn't bring him on national TV to.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not her fault that this person went to that next level with it.
Yeah, rode into the show. Like, what was that show with the pedos? The Catch a Predator.
Yeah. Oh, that was a lot of stage stuff, from my understanding.
Yeah, well, you know why it ended, right?
Because they were faking it.
No, it ended.
They were setting people up.
Yeah, they were setting people up. Well,
but not like, oh, this guy is the pedo. No, they set him up like trying to tell him that it was a legal age person, and when he shows up, it's a kid, you're going to jail. Like, what?
Well, they got this judge, and they had all this stuff on this judge. He didn't go to the bait house, but they had a bunch of stuff on this judge. Well, they went to serve the papers on the judge and serve the warrant, and he locked himself in the house and, took care of himself.
Mm-hmm.
And the cameras were all there from the Catch a Predator, and then his family sued NBC or whatever channel, and said it was their fault that he died because they're the ones that outed him as a pedo. And
look, if he is a pedo, then
I'm
that's
sure he was
100% the best way that he could have gone. Actually, the only way it could have been better is if we stomped him to death with a bazillion ants. Make it long and sufferable. I don't go for that. Now, they are starting, I guess, to hold some judges accountable. You heard about the 2 judges that's been arrested over the past week?
No.
Yeah, so apparently, and I don't know the whole inside out on this, but apparently the judge was hearing a domestic violence case, and this dude was not American born. He was here illegally. And ICE showed up. They were going to wait till after the trial, and then they were going to get him, and do what they were going to do to him. So 2 judges actually took these illegal aliens and snuck them out the back door and helped them get away from ICE. So the federal government is now prosecuting them for that.
Wow.
Whether you agree with that part or not, I am glad to see that our system's set up that even the judges are held accountable to a high degree. It makes me feel a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, maybe you need to really think about the situation before you bring the hammer down on somebody, for a small crime. Like, maybe it isn't worth all that hammer. You know what I mean?
I think it would be different if they weren't there for a crime, right?
What do you mean?
If they weren't there to beat their old lady, you know what I mean? ICE wasn't just showing up, picking them off the street, that they had committed a crime. They were here illegally.
Well,
maybe they
personally,
need to
I
go
think
back.
that if all right, so what you're saying is if you come to the country illegally, like, maybe we can just keep an eye on you. But I think once you broke the law, like,
Yeah.
that's it.
Once you break laws, but if you come here and you're a good person and you're just here to work, take care of your family, I see no, you're not causing
Yeah.
no harm, right? But the minute you start, beating people up, beating up ladies, I'm not a fan of beating up ladies.
No,
I'll be
I don't
trash.
think most people
Yeah.
are. No, I don't think most or kids. I think
Yeah,
most
no,
people
no,
like
well,
we all kind of see eye to eye
Yeah.
on a lot of things. But I don't know. My whole point to that was the judges are being held accountable, and that to me is a big thing. So well, and the Pope passed away.
Yep. And they did he wasn't buried like a normal pope. Normally popes are put into 3 caskets, like all made of different metals and stuff. Well, he wasn't done like that. He was just in a plain like pine or something casket, and he wasn't buried with his ring, which the news made a big thing about because they're typically, you kiss the Pope's ring, right? And every single Pope gets their own ring. It's forged for them. Well, he wasn't buried with it.
Huh.
But I think he did a lot of stuff that the church disagreed with. He wasn't
I'm not
their favorite.
Not big on organized religion.
Yeah,
I think a lot of that you can do if you believe in God and you want to get in touch with God. I think you can do that on your own accord. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to go in and pay somebody and their building and all this other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Like what happened to just talk to God.
Yeah.
Talk to God. Read your Bible.
Yeah.
Live a good life.
Go out and do good things.
Yeah.
You wanna just go out and do something good, right? Just give a homeless guy $20.
Give a homeless guy $20, and you know what? Speaking of that, I'm kind of torn between like a lot of people are catching grief because they'll go out and they'll give homeless people whatever $300, $400, $500 more, but they're recording it.
I hate that.
I don't, because listen, man, who gives a crap about the clout? Fine, you know what I mean. But you're like, hey, this make it cool to help those around us. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this guy, whatever, he had hit his head years ago, is that brain damage since, and that can't live a normal life. He's out here begging for money, just trying to survive. And then you go out there and you give it to him and you record it. Well, now you see that and you go, hey man, I really idolize this guy. And if he's doing that, maybe I should too. And then maybe that gets you to loosen up your wallet a little. Let me get this guy $5, whatever you can without hurting yourself.
Guys that are genuine and they go out and help people. And then there's some guys that, once the money gets to a certain point, then they start staging it and they start.
Yeah, no, if you're lying about it, if you're not actually giving this money to a homeless person, that's
guys,
yeah.
Man, they fake a lot of those videos.
I'm with it, but I don't know. Like I said, as long as the end means is we're helping somebody that actually needs it and not just somebody that's just being lazy, but we're helping people that actually need it, I'm down with it no matter how it gets us there.
I watch a lot of body cam videos, especially lately. I love body cam videos. Yeah, watching the cops arrest people. I don't know, and those little crime stories where they put it together, where you can see the body cam videos, them being arrested, then interrogation, and then the trial.
We got quiet, didn't it? That big party just left.
But I watched one the other day, man, and this kid had he was drunk driving and speeding and killed his friend. His friend was in the car and they got in a wreck. And they let the kid know that he died, and he just has a breakdown. And I'm like, why the fuck are we putting this on YouTube, right? This kid's at the worst possible moment of his entire life, and they're putting it on YouTube.
But you can learn something from it.
Yeah.
I mean, you're seeing real time consequences to your decisions. And
man, it's heavy to watch stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I tell you, the ones I like are the First Amendment auditors.
Oh man,
I love those guys. Love them. Yes, you have the right freedom of speech. Everybody's a part of the press, And
as long as you're in public, you can film. You can film all you want.
That's right.
Like public buildings, you can film in public. It's a public building. The taxes
we're paying for it. Yeah. I pay for it. Like I don't know if I bought that tile, but I'm paying the bills around here. My part.
Yeah, and it's silly that people have to go to that extreme to go in there and actually challenge it because they're like, no, you can't film in here. Yeah, I can.
That's like, I mean, it's just like the courtroom. Like,
Yeah.
they won't let you take your phones and your cameras in there. It's like, well, why not? Like, why aren't we letting everybody see this? Why isn't this open and public? Why don't we have a TV channel in every county, every city, whatever, that's specifically, all right, here's your courtroom. This is what's going on. And it's just a continuous feed of that. Like, how come that's not a thing?
Yeah, I think that should very much be a thing.
I do too.
You know, and it goes back into people that don't have money. Their cases go a lot differently.
Yeah.
Than people who do have
That's right.
money.
And well, not only that, you could learn in there, you know what I mean, before you either have the problem or anything else. There's just like a lot of little subtle laws that you don't necessarily know, and it can still get you in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, and it's nobody's going to get in trouble for it now, but here in Richmond County, there is literally a law that says that when you're walking with your wife or your girlfriend or someone like that, she has to walk on your right side away from traffic. Yes, because if she's on your left, on the side of traffic, you can get arrested for solicitation. No doubt this had to be a problem back in the day. That's why they made the rule.
Something had to happen.
But like, so if it's still on the books and, you know, Johnny Cop, he doesn't like you and he sees you doing that, he could conceivably try to use that to kind of, and even if you don't, even if it gets dropped and everything else, you still got the hassle of being arrested and booked and having this on your record, and you got to show up to court. You got to show, I mean, that's a lot out of your life. That, you know, for what? Because you didn't like me. And that's, and look, it might not be super common, but it does happen.
You know, I watch a lot of I've been on this little 2 weeks. I've been watching all this footage. If you're talking to the police, you have the right to remain silent. The best thing for you to do is not say anything at all.
I'm not quite sure what Trey's talking about here. He said, we have them come to the prison. You have who come to the prison, Trey?
ICE came to the prison.
Well, I mean, that may be a way to help save us some money too. Let's take all the illegals that are already imprisoned here and let's just send them on back.
Is it ICE or is it the auditors?
Oh,
I don't go to the prison?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, maybe like up to the gate. I mean, that's somewhere I don't think First Amendment needs to be. People. Really, they actually come into the prison, huh? You guys let them in there? That's pretty cool.
I didn't know you could film there.
Honestly, I can
you
see
film from outside, right?
Right.
As long as you're on the street or something, sidewalk.
Yeah, that's everything you can see from outside of that fence is fine. But you guys are actually letting them come in there and video. It kind of seems dangerous.
It does.
Because you get some layouts. I mean, there's lots of little things there.
Anywhere near the prison.
But I'm definitely all for, like, if you're here illegally and you have committed a crime, let's not pay our money to keep this person up and feed them. Let's just send them back and watch them. Yeah, that's 100% legal.
Yeah, it's just weird. Why? I mean, I know you're trying to challenge the system,
exactly what it is.
You know,
exactly what it is. And some of them, they're just doing it because they want you to come down there. And they want you to cause a problem. You know, I would say probably 80% of the people that are out there doing that, they're looking for that because they want the views and everything else.
Controversy creates.
But there's got to be at least 10% out there that are doing it for earnest reasons. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going into the courthouse and I'm going to film for as much as I can. You know, so on and so forth, really push the line with it so that, you know, the officers that aren't educated on it or anything else, you know, it kind of brings everything back down and even kill. Because the power is supposed to be with we the people.
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's worse in the small towns.
Oh, you said ICE does go. So does ICE just take them home? Do they take them or back to their country of origin? Like, are they just there to get documentation on them? We need to get Trey on here one day.
I'm sure.
I would do a prison talk podcast for sure.
I'm sure they would take them to a different prison over there, right?
I mean, I wouldn't doubt it.
They were taking them somewhere.
El Salvador, right?
Yeah,
or something like that. And apparently, they got some kind of work camp or something.
You know, El Salvador is the safest country in South America.
Well, I guess that's because they locking them up. They got a terrible prison system. You don't want to cause no problems. Marshals, get them and take them.
Damn.
Okay. Yeah, Trey, we definitely gonna need to get you on here one day and chat us up on some of the prison stuff. I think that'd be interesting.
Yeah, so I guess they just come take them.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No. If they're committing crimes, man, they don't need to be here.
Well, so you got to think we're not. If you're willing to break the law to come into the country, you know what I mean. One of two reasons. One, you're either not, most likely, you're not a good person, and you're not coming here to do good things, or two, you are in a really rough predicament, and out of desperation, you're trying to get out and do something. Those are the people I want to help. The second one on that list, those are the people I want to help. You know, let's bring. All right, fine. You want to make a better life? No problem. Like, we will help you, but I'm also on the flip side of that. I do think it should be, let's say, expedited a little bit better.
Yeah.
As opposed to you're going in and you want to apply to come to America. I mean, 4 or 5 years down the road, you might be dead by then.
There you go again. It goes back to the people that have money and the people that don't have money. Because to become a citizen, it costs a lot of money.
It does.
And there's a lot of stuff you got to go through, and but it's really expensive. I worked with a lady a couple of years ago, and her husband got deported. And they'd been married like 15, 16 years. And the entire time he had been trying to get his citizenship. It's not like he wasn't trying,
So
what's up?
Mr. Harrison made it. So look, on the flip side of all this ICE stuff, it's not that hard to really get in. Okay. So I'm living in Myrtle Beach, and all my neighbors, they're all Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
And one day there's a little fella lived next door to me, him and his son, and he shows up at my door and he's got tears in his eyes, and he has another lady there to translate. I'm like, okay, come on in. I made him some tea. We sat down and talked for a minute. And what had happened was his wife was coming up to meet them, and she got caught in Texas, right? So Texas has her, and they're talking about deporting her, so on and so forth. And he asked me if there's anything I could do to help. So I did a little bit of investigation. And I'm like, well, the only thing I can really do is just write them a letter and ask them to release her so that, she can come on over here. So I did. I'm like, I'm even willing that I'll take responsibility for her for 6 months. You know what I mean? And she was really good. She checked in with me all the time. She let me know what was going on in her life, even though I was like, no, I don't need all that information, and just make sure you're not messing up. Take care of the youngin'. But I mean, she was released into my custody. Nobody in Texas knows me. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even know that lady.
Yeah.
But that's how easy it was. All I had to do was just write a letter asking them, hey, she's got a child here. He needs his mom. You think you could release her into my custody till you guys can get everything figured out? And she lived right next door.
Yeah.
And then, as a matter of fact, after 6 months, she was still trying to come over. And I'm like, no, all that's done. I don't need to hear nothing about anything else anymore. Just be a good person.
Yeah.
Pay your bills. Salute the flag. Yeah.
Well, my son's girlfriend, her father, he came over here, and when he came over here, he snuck over here, and he ended up getting kidnapped.
Oh.
And put basically into slavery in like Florida and Georgia and orange fields and stuff. They're like, hey, we're going to take you here, to work. And next thing you know, he was on the back of a U-Haul, right, with 40 other guys, and they're taking them to these camps to go pick fruit, and they wouldn't let them leave, and they weren't paying them. They were just picking fucking fruit, and he had to sneak out in the middle of the night and escape. And I'd try to have him on, but he doesn't speak English. He's a citizen now, but
well, I thought you had to speak I thought you had to know English.
He's got a little bit, but he's not.
I know they got to know crazy stuff. They'll know more about the country by the time they take that test than we do. Just a lot of little intricate stuff that they want to quiz them on to become a citizen.
Yeah. They'll know all American history. I think they got to know all the presidents.
Something like that. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. Like, why? You know what I mean? How about we just teach them the values? If they know the Constitution, that's a good thing. The Bill of Amendment or the Bill of Rights, all that kind of stuff. They know that kind of stuff.
Hell, I probably couldn't name 10 presidents.
I could do 10. I definitely couldn't do them all, but I could do 10. I could do 10.
I know the ones that, had something crazy happen,
Yeah. And that's all of them had little something crazy going on for the most part.
And John Adams didn't have shit going on. He didn't have shit going on. What happened during John Adams? What about John Quincy Adams? Weren't that two different people?
Yeah, it was father son, wasn't it?
I think so. Yeah,
it was like the father, and then there was somebody else I can't remember, and then the son. I believe is how that went, wasn't it?
I'm just disappointed we didn't get Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush? Okay.
I mean, Jeb Bush would have been right there with Trump, I mean, I think that would have been both as entertaining.
Hey, if nothing else, I mean, so even they said it during his first term, like there's nobody been watching political stuff
Yeah.
like this until he came
Yeah.
along, right? So you like him, you hate him, like he's having an impact.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And, you know, a lot of people hate Elon, but he's literally like the smartest person in the world. Like he's really high up there. He's a rocket scientist.
Actually, he's not. He's not. He hired scientists. He was smart enough to say, "Hey, let me hire somebody that could do this," which is what we did.
Yeah.
When we brought Nazis over here. Was it a paperclip?
Yeah.
Was it something like that?
Yeah.
Or we brought all these Nazi scientists over here
and we got
put them to work. Yep. Exactly how we got there.
We got to take all the smart people, man.
Mm-hmm. All right. So hold on. We got some notes here, stuff we wanted to actually bring up and make sure we get it all. Oh, Bike Week. Yeah, so we did Bike Week a couple weeks back on a Tuesday, and it went over really well. I wasn't prepared to have that many people in here, so I didn't staff up enough, which clearly we're going to rectify that this coming Bike Week. We also moved it to a Thursday. We feel like that'd be a better night for everybody. You know what I mean? You're getting close to the end of the week. Yeah. You're ready for a relaxing wild time or something. But and at the last one, my niece, I know I brought this up before, where she had a traumatic brain injury and she's currently trying to recuperate in the hospital. She's still fighting for it, like infections and all the other kind of stuff to come with it. But we ended up raising, I believe it was almost $400 for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the person that won the ticket turned right around like, no, just give her all of that. So there's some really big hearted people.
Yeah.
Really big hearted people. And then we got the next one coming up. It's May 8th. We're going to be, I don't really got too much crazy plan. We tried to do a wet t-shirt contest, but we only ended up with one participant. She won $100 easy. You know what I mean? I was given $100. So we're not really sure what all the games are going to be quite yet. We're still kind of working that out. And then May 9th, I've got Ladies Night Out. It's going to be here. That's going to be a wild, crazy night. That's going to be a lot of fun. I believe it's over at, I can't remember, 10:30 or 11. But I'm going to tell you what, guys, if you're single, you're going to want to be close by so you can get in here after that show. I promise you.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I bartended a couple of those shows.
Oh, yeah.
Guys never, ever show up. And so it'd be 1 o'clock in the morning. All these girls are drunk and worked up, and I'm the only man in the building behind the bar. And I guess I can't get in trouble for it now, but if you knew how many times I've had naked girls on my bar after the bars close. Every single bar I've ever worked at, it's always, hey, I want to get a date. And it's always their idea. It's never my idea.
Right.
It's always their idea, right? Like,
well, we specifically try to keep people off the tables and bars here. Yeah. Like, that's an eating surface. We are a restaurant as well. And
I didn't own the place, and the boss had already went home, so I was kind of there by myself. Like me and the other bartenders, we'll lock up.
We'll lock up. I know that's right. Oh, let's see what else we got here. Oh, St. Andrews is closing.
Yeah,
I did not see that coming at all. Like, what? Do you have any information on this?
So, from what the news article said, it said that they had a lot of lawsuits from previous students of rape allegations, and they settled all the lawsuits, and now they're just out of money.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was it like a serial rapist?
I have no idea. I never heard of it.
I didn't hear about it either. They buried that.
Yeah.
They paid to bury it.
Yeah, they did. And they paid, and now they're out of money. But that's going to be a big blow to Laurinburg.
That is.
And what do you do with it? What do you do with those buildings?
We're still trying to figure out what to do with the old hospital. They built the hospital. It was open like a decade, and they closed it. Yeah, it's a brand new hospital sitting there rotten.
Like, St. Andrews is a lot of buildings. There's a little lake out there, and what do you do with that? Who buys that? Does another school try to come in? And those buildings are old.
You would imagine
they're from like the 60s, 50s, 60s. Somewhere
personally, I think either RCC or Sand Hills should look at it and use it for expansion.
Yeah. Well, what would be really cool is if a tech company was to come down, the way they do their stuff, because they'll have a campus. they'll have this building for this building.
Mhm.
It's already got a pool and a gym in it, which all those tech companies have. Pools and gyms for their employees, and a bar where you can go get a drink at 2:00 in the afternoon because it helps you work better, right?
Okay. So like call centers and stuff like that. Is that what you mean by tech?
No. Like the video game companies. I know Red Hat's in Raleigh, right?
Red Hat. See, you say Red Hat, I'm thinking of the little old ladies with their big red hats.
Yeah, it's
Is that what you're talking about?
No.
The group?
It's a tech company.
Oh,
they make computer software and computers and stuff.
Okay, as opposed to black hat, white hat. Like, I don't understand the red hat.
They bought the rights to the amphitheater, so the amphitheater right there downtown is called the Red Hat Amphitheater because they came in. The video game company that made the Spider-Man game
was it Activision? Insomniac. I don't know.
It was one of those. They're in Raleigh. But because they're all were up north, but they're coming down here because the taxes are cheaper down here. The cost of living's cheaper down here.
Because we have guns.
That's what it is. You can't talk me out of that.
Right.
That's
right. That's what was it Ben Franklin? What did he say? Tax this dick.
Yeah.
So yeah. But that's kind of shocking.
Yeah,
that college, I thought the college was doing well. You know what I mean?
Well, and I tell you, it came out of nowhere. I was looking through my emails today, and there was colleges trying to book rooms for next year to play them in sports. Like there was a football team that wanted to book in September for them to come play St. Andrews. And I got that in an email today. And I'm like, fuck,
does St. Andrews have a sports team?
Yeah, they had a football team.
I did not know that.
They had, I don't know how good it is now, but at one time, St. Andrews had one of the number one not rugby, what's that shit with the stick? Lacrosse. They had one of the number one lacrosse teams in the country. Fucking, I guess.
I don't know. You know what?
But that was
never even went
thing.
to watch a game of lacrosse.
Yeah, their big thing, their big sport was lacrosse.
Okay.
But they just got a football team maybe 2-3 years ago. They started football. And they built like a little football stadium out there. And
so here's the thing, like we're bailing out all these banks and stuff left and right.
Right.
But we can't do something that's actually trying to teach people. You know what I mean? I mean, especially nowadays, they're trying to really push that, education's everything. Mm-hmm. You ain't got an education. You can't even get a job. Most jobs don't even need that kind of education. You just need to learn the basics, and then the rest of it is hands-on. But, yeah, they're really pushing that, and then they're just going to let, a college go belly up like that.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I mean, but they do have UNC over there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They do have a campus for UNC over there, don't they?
No,
I know they got one in Pembroke.
Yeah, there's one in Pembroke. Well, we got an RCC. We got an RCC.
Oh, you have RCC there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got RCC there.
Well, there it is. That's it. They just outdid you.
Yeah.
They just outdid you. That's all.
Yeah, that's where my kid goes.
Now, St. Andrews, was that like a Catholic type school or something?
It was Presbyterian at one point. Right?
Okay.
And I'm sorry, I just got caught off guard because something looked familiar.
Something looked familiar.
Yeah.
Okay. But, there's a wrestling ring up there. Well, actually, that brings us to another point. We just had a wrestler pass away.
Yeah, Steve Mongo McMichael. He was a football player. He played for
Chicago, I think.
Chicago Bears. Yeah. But then he came to WCW in the 90s, and he wasn't ever a good wrestler. He was in the Four Horsemen. He was funny though. Yeah, I always enjoyed watching him, right? And he was a big dude.
Did you ever meet him? I know you were in that scene for a while.
I don't know. Now that you say that, I don't know, because I know a few times at WrestleCade they had most of the Four Horsemen there, but I don't know if he was ever included. Because you go there, man, and there's thousands of people. All right, there's thousands of people, and you're mingling with everybody.
Of course.
But I know he'd been sick for a really long time. Ric Flair had been spending a lot of time with him. But he was sick and fighting for a while. Some type of cancer.
Now, I really hate cancer. I really hate it, man. It's taken out too much of my family and friends. It's just, it's got to be the stuff that they're pumping in us. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? and the water and the food and the air. Like it's really, that's where it's got to come from, man. It's just getting rampant.
Yeah.
Now I don't know. Maybe I'm overthinking it here, but I mean, yes, the population has increased quite a bit, but I think the percentage of people that end up dying of cancer has gone up even higher than population has.
And again, I think it goes back to the people with money and the people without money. Because
not really. Not when it comes to that, man.
I just know
now age is a different story. Magic Johnson's still out here dancing. You know what I mean? But
there's treatments that if you got money and you got resources that you can get, that if average Joe's on the street and he makes $700 a week, he's not making enough to buy health insurance, and he's making too much to qualify for government health insurance.
Yep.
What's that guy get? Right.
Yeah, and I've always wondered about it. Well, you got this little gray area. You're not poor enough to get help.
Yeah.
You're not rich enough to be able to pay for it. Like, what do we do with those people? How come they get screwed over? Like, we only like either the poorest of the poor or the richest of the rich, and everybody else is just garbage.
The fucking normal people, man, they always get screwed.
No.
You always get screwed. Any other notes?
See, we got anything else to talk about here? Let's see. Oops. Oh, the race last week. That was actually a lot of fun, man. Unfortunately, you couldn't join me out there.
Weekend. Yeah, WrestleMania is like a religion in my house.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I got to go up to the owner's box. I met a lot of really, really cool people. Yeah. And actually, I talked to a lot more people that didn't want to be on camera, that just had some wild beliefs. We'll just say that, but they didn't actually want to be on camera. I was surprised how many husbands were like, "Oh no, you'd really want to talk to my wife about this," and then you can hear it off camera. "Oh, I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be on camera." I was like, "That's fine." But yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. There's a lot going on.
We had played here that Friday, and I probably got home at like 3:30 in the morning.
Yep.
And then I woke up at like 1, or like I woke up at like 12:30. But the U-Haul had to be back at 1, and it was still full of all our gear.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get my kid awake, and all the other band members are gone. I bribed my youngest son. I was like, "Hey, help me come unload this shit, and we're just gonna stick it in here."
So that video's up, but it's not on YouTube, is it?
Yeah, no, but I'll put it on YouTube when I put this on there.
Okay. Yeah, it's on our on the Splitting Hairs podcast page.
But yeah, it looks like you had a great time.
Oh, it was a blast. It was. I mean, it's been such a long time since I've seen that track just, living like that. Like it was fully alive. That place was packed. And you couldn't turn around in there and not see just packs of people.
Yeah, well, it was good for everybody around. It was good for Rockingham, Hamlet, Laurinburg, Aberdeen, Pinehurst.
Yeah. And for months to come, there's still going to be money trickling out from that event. So that's a good thing. It was
great. I hope they come back. I hope they do it again.
Oh, they will. They will, for sure. What I really would like to see is the big race show up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be cool. Yeah. I should get what do they don't have a name for it. They don't have a sponsor or something this year, right? So they're just calling it.
Really?
What are they calling it? What are they calling the race now? The big race.
Cup Series, I think.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. Just called the Cup Series, because they don't have a sponsor for it. That's just like Chevy. Chevy is taking the Camaro. They're not going to be making the Camaro anymore. So that's what they were racing in NASCAR, right? Oh. It has to be a production car you're racing NASCAR. So NASCAR told them, we'll give you 3 years. You can run it just as a Chevy car. You got 3 years to replace it. And they can't put like the Corvette in there, because they made the Corvette. That's like a more high end now. That's mid-range engines, and it's the next level coupe stuff.
I don't know the rules in NASCAR.
It has to be a production model. You've got to sell, I can't remember this. I want to say it's like 100,000 cars or something minimum, something like that.
Really?
Yes. That's why Camry started really or Toyota started really pushing the Camrys, because they were all about trucks in this country up until they wanted to get into NASCAR. And then they started really pushing the Camry. And the Camry is an awesome car. I don't know if you've ever owned one.
No,
we had one a few years back. That was absolutely amazing. That car. So the headlights on that thing were ridiculous. Like, you could see tomorrow with this. It's the brightest headlights I've ever had in the car. It's got the butterfly paddle shifters and everything, and It's a 6-cylinder, but I guess if you're not really getting on it, it's only running on 4 cylinders, so it helps save gas.
Oh,
Oh yeah, the Camry is an excellent car.
I've been my past 2 cars have been Jeeps. I've been in my Jeep phase. I guess I'm,
Oh yeah,
midlife crisis.
that's right. The Hurricanes pulled off a good little win.
Oh,
And we are actually Richmond County's official Caniac bar. For
really?
Richmond County, yes. So that is a big congratulations out to them.
I got buddies that are always trying to give away tickets.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, give them
Yeah.
to me,
Yeah.
because I would love to go up and watch. The
Yeah.
tickets are ridiculously expensive right now. I don't know if you know that.
I don't. I've never.
Yeah, it's a couple $100
I've
just to
never
go get
paid for a ticket
nosebleeds.
for any. Like, dude, I've probably been to 1,500 concerts, and I've probably paid to get into 2 of them.
Well, man, hey, next time they want to offer you tickets, get them, and we'll do something on here and give out tickets.
Like,
We'll give
dude,
them away.
I'm offered tickets all.
Who would like to have some kind of
giveaway?
a giveaway contest for some Hurricane tickets? Let's see what kind of. Because if nothing else, we could always pitch
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like, I know enough people that. Well, when back in my stagehand days, right? Like, because those guys always get tickets to everything, and yeah. No, they're always like, "Hey, I got these tickets. These tickets." I used to do it. I used to. I guess it's not scalping, is it? If they give you the tickets.
No,
He's
no,
down
scalping
there,
is
yeah.
reselling on marked up.
Yeah,
You mark them up and
no,
resell.
I would never sell them that much, but I've sold some tickets.
I'd be honest with you. If you could get tickets, I probably wouldn't try to do the giveaway. At least the first time, I'd probably want to go watch. I was a hockey fan in mid '90s,
Mhm.
right? That's where I find hockey, and I was a Capitals fan because I was living right outside of DC, and it was cool. And then like the very next year, when I first started watching, they decided they were taking out all the fights. And I'm like, I'm not watching dudes figure skate for an hour and a
Yeah.
half. Like, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. Like, I don't care about that. So I kind of backed off of that. And then probably about 9 years ago, I got back to starting to watch a little bit here and there whenever I can.
Yeah.
And now, of course, I'm going to pull for the Hurricanes because, North Carolina.
So in Raleigh, and the building they play hockey in is also the building where NC State plays basketball.
Okay.
So you would have 4 hours to put down the basketball floor on top of that fucking ice. You got 4 hours to put it up, 4 hours to take it down. It's a lot easier to take down than it is to put down.
So wait. Are you saying that they leave the rink underneath of it to put the floor down?
You put the floor on top of it. Yeah, it's squares. They're all numbered, and the case is numbered, and you're just putting them
That's
down.
cool. I didn't know that.
Same thing, volleyball floor. Like, I put down all those floors.
Huh. That's
Because
interesting.
what they do is they put out calls. They're like, hey, we need 20 guys over here for this setup, and 20 guys over here for this setup. And you just show up, write your name and your social security down on a piece of paper, and you'll get paid for it. And I mean, they'll work the shit out of you, though.
Sounds still pretty cool. I'd go do it.
Oh, dude, it's one of those lives where, it's the rock and roll life. You can go work whatever concert you want, go work the hockey game. There's always something to go work. And dude, I've had days where I'd go work on 3 different crews. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because if you can go in there and finish it in 2 hours, you're still getting paid for 4 hours, right?
That's cool.
Anything from 8 at night to 8 in the morning is overtime. So if set up 6 a.m., 2 hours overtime automatically. If it goes past 8 o'clock at night, everything breakdowns.
It's got to be
overtime.
union stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Well, it's the city. You're working for the
Oh,
city, like
okay.
it's a city job. Like, and they don't care. They don't care about overtime. They just want people there to work. I've worked 70-hour weeks for the city of Raleigh. Like, paycheck was great.
Yeah.
Comic-Cons, though, I hate Comic-Con. I have such a hatred for Comic-Cons, anime conventions.
I would imagine anime would be full of really irritating people.
Dude, anime is horrible. Horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about watching it or actually being at the convention, because the setup, they'll have the whole building, and they'll have the whole building for days. And the setup's crazy, and then it's packed. And I don't know if you've ever carried a water jug in between all these nerds to go, put it in a little station, for water, or they'll need a table and you have to go through.
Oh yeah.
But,
I used to work at the convention center. I know what you're talking about.
Well, one time, man, we had this Japanese guy, and I guess he had made some famous anime. I don't watch anime, so I don't know. But he was doing autographs, but he was only doing 100 autographs, and there had to be 400 people in line.
Mm.
And so they grabbed me, and they're like, yo, take this guy the back way and down the service elevator so he can get out while all these people are still in line. And then when I got back, those people knew it was me. They were mad at me, like
I don't make the call, guys.
but I tell you what, I've seen the White Power Ranger and the Predator have a breakdance battle. And that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't know. I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I ain't watching no breakdancing battle. That I don't. The cons, because it's not like you're going there to get a really good deal.
No.
The only thing is you convenience of having this one subject really, in one building. Any kind of way you could think of, whatever, the dolls, the books, the whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But as far as like going there, you're not getting deals.
No.
Like, you might get stuff you can't find anywhere else, but you're gonna pay for it.
I mean, I've probably been. We went to one. Me and her went to one of the oddities expos, but I think that's the only one I've ever been to where I wasn't working.
We gotta find out when they're doing the next. They have, I think we talked about this once before, where they have the cryptid, con, over here at the college.
I'd like to go to that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We should go set up and do some podcasting out of there. That would be fun.
But man, as far as
just don't call them ghost hunters. Learn that lesson. Good Lord.
Investigators.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, I think we hit all of our subject matter. So,
and we're right there at the hour mark.
We're right at the hour mark. Yeah, we did a good job today.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think? We doing okay up here?
Yeah.
So, and Trey, I'm dead serious, man. I want to get you on here one day. Maybe you and Brent or Terry.
Yeah.
And we all sit down and we talk about prison life. Because for some reason, that's everywhere. It's become super popular with everybody. I don't know. Have you seen all this? If there's a prison story out there to be said and they tell it like on TikTok, that's going to blow up.
So there's this guy. He's been on YouTube a really long time. It's called the After Prison Show. I think he was the first one. Like, I watched this guy 3-4 months after he got out of prison when he finally got a camera and started doing it, just telling prison stories. Fast forward a couple of years, this dude's got his own house, big ass house, and a business, construction business, still doing, YouTube. Okay. But he started every video. He was in prison for, I think it was like 7.5 years on nonviolent drug offenses, but he would just tell prison stories and he'd make recipes, with everything with the ramen noodles.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Be some crazy
staple.
Stuff.
Yeah, dude.
There was a guy, he took, what was it? It was fudge rounds, it was freeze-dried coffee, and like a Snickers bar or something. And he put it in a Ziploc bag and then put it in his shoe and walked around for a little while. And he pulls it out and it's like all this like black paste. And he basically just rolls it up into balls. And he's like, yeah, we sell these in there and all this other stuff. It's like, I ain't eating nobody's shoe recipe. Man. That's not happening. I don't think so.
Yeah, but you would have the toilet wine.
I would probably be in trouble for making Pruno for sure. It's like, we're going to get a buzz tonight, guys. Forget our problems for a minute. So, all right. Well, we sure appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us. And again, we'd like for you to go over to YouTube, like, subscribe, and follow to Splitting Hairs Podcast. Type it in all as one word, and you should find us. You'll see our logo.
And when's Ladies' Night?
Ladies' Night is May 9th, and the Bike Night is May 8th. So we got a little bit of time left.
And Echo Vibes available for bookings. You can go to the Echo Vibe Facebook. Also on Gmail, echovibebooking@gmail.com. Reach out to us there. We're willing to go play anywhere. I think we got a pretty good show put together.
Oh, yeah, it was a lot of gear y'all had, too.
Yeah,
had my stage packed.
Man, it took us 4 hours to set up.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was happy. It made me happy that you guys actually used my smoke machine. I've had that thing now, I don't know, 6-7 months, and I can't get none of the bands to use it. And you guys rocked it. It looked great too.
Our drummer was so mad that it was pointed at him. By the end of the night, he's like, "Don't hit that smoke machine again.
Don't do it
I
again.
can't breathe."
We're fighting if you do.
But it looked so cool.
It did. It
looked so
looked
cool.
great. It
Like,
absolutely did. 100%.
we had 2 of them set up, and I had them on my pedal board. So I was just
Yes, he did. He smoked that poor guy out of there. But that was a lot of fun. So, all right, folks. Well, we will see y'all again next week. Same bat time, same bat channels.
night, everyone.
Good night, guys. Awesome, man.